How's it going, everyone? Well, yeah, I have decided that I am going to go ahead and fix this cabinet for speed Buggy. Yeah. I got started on it. I'm starting right here at the top because I can put it on my cart here, my dolly. And this is the same dolly that dumped it, and I had to figure out what the hell happened. Is it slipped out. This was bent, and it wasn't setting up in here, and it was just out here on the edge, I guess, and it let loose. So I took it apart, straightened it up, bent it down so it would hold it a lot better, and now it doesn't move. Okay, anyway, that's beside the point. What I'm doing here is, like I said, I started at the top to get this all put back together, and then we can stand it up, or I can turn it around, whatever, and then I can work on the bottom half of it. But this was where everything kind of blew apart, was up top here when it hit the ground. So we're working up here first. It was just all pulled away from the cabinet up here, the panels. This one down here is still, well, she's tight now, but you can see I still gotta fix that. Okay, drilling pilot holes and putting screws in. Not so they come all the way through. I have little short drywall screws. I think they're 1 1/4. Drill pilot hole, and then I countersink them, glue, and I clamped it together just to hold it while I get all my screws in. I did this last night, so all my all my glue's about dry. And she's coming together. I have to put this one back on. This one goes up here to hold that top panel on. You can see I cut the brads off, or staples off. They're protruding just a little bit, so I can line them right up with the holes. And I will glue them and do the same thing. Drill pilot hole, countersink the screws, and put that back on there, and we'll let that dry. The top panel here got blown out pretty bad when it hit. I think my clamps might be in the way. But I think, see, I got it squeezed together pretty good. So I'm going to have to separate it just a little bit to get that back down in there. I have a couple good areas there that I can glue down through, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to screw down through the top, for the simple fact is nobody will see on the top here unless you're really tall, or you get up on a stool. The bottom one here, that brace right there is going to be kind of tricky, but I think I can get in through here, get up through here, and get my holes drilled and screwed down. Same thing, I'll glue it and clamp everything together and let it set up and dry. Same with our whole top. I'll do the same thing with it. So I'll get you set up, and we'll get this one glued on first. I have to have that on because it'll make it a lot easier. Now I need a little bit of glue. Clean the surface up because there was glue on it. I got as much of it off as I can. And most of you know that glue doesn't really bond really good on glue. So we just have to get it cleaned up as good as possible. Not worried too much in here about how it looks because nobody's gonna see it except me. Now, see if I got that on the right end. Should be right there. Oop. Come on. Don't run away from me. Yeah. And one more. Glue scushing out. So we're good to go. Now we gotta let that dry. Okay, we got that taken care of up there. That's drying. I can mount the top on it anytime, but we'll get to it. Right now I want to take care of the front panel here. You can see we have, nice. I can get some glue in there. This side is loose, but I'm gonna see if I can get some glue down through there or not. I'll do it from the back side so we don't, no I can't from back side on that one. This one I can. This one looks, let's take a look. I think you see all the way through. Yeah, I can get some glue down through there too. And cramp it together, and I'll drill it and put some scrooges in it and get that all stiffened up. Which is not, that won't be bad at all. I think so far it's not too bad. Then we have to work on our back panel here. See what we can do with that. This piece here that broke in the center, that's what actually hit my dolly when it fell. I hate to change that whole panel out because it has our data east on it. So we'll take a look at that once we get going. We may be able to just put some braces across it and get it all straightened back out. Like I said, this isn't a restoration. This is just so we get our cabinet all put back together so it can be used. It's not like we're doing a full restoration or something like that. We're just putting our cabinet back together so it can be used. Is that loose? That one come loose? Nope. Okay. Okay. Let's get busy and get this coin door panel all put back together. Okay, now first thing I'm gonna do is get turned around. Is see if I can get some glue back in there. There. And I don't know if I can, I'm gonna try and get some in on the other side as well. I mean, the screws are going to be holding it more than anything. But if I can get some glue back in there, it'll help. Probably can't see much of what I'm doing, but all I'm doing is forcing glue back in that crack where the two panels come together. Just kind of help reinforce it. The screws are going to do most of the work. Okay, I'll try and get some more on the other side, which I can't because it's not big enough. The gap's not open up enough. I'll see if I can inject a little bit more from the front. Same with the other side. See if I can't squeeze some back in there. Okay, don't worry about making a mess with glue, because what's nice is it cleans right up. Now, get this all clamped up. Excuse me. Now I should have one more clamp. There it is. Okay, now Okay, now get the other side cleaned up. Okay, now we'll just do like I did before. I'm just gonna drill some pilots. Countersink them a little. Down as far as I can, anyway. Can't get down to that bottom one. We'll run our scrooges in. That one went in pretty far. Well, okay, I'll do the same to the other side. And we'll be all set to let that sit for a while. Okay, now we're gonna work on getting this closed up and get our back door rails I'll put back in where they belong. Get this all screwed together. I got every stinking clamp I own. Got a couple up there, got 4 there. Looks like I'm building a porcupine. And we're gonna have my big pipe clamp. I can get this squeezed together. I don't know if I can get it to stay or not, because you can see that bottom swelled a little bit, and it's going to be a little hard to keep it in place. But we're going to give her the old college try, and hopefully we can get all this put in. The cabinet's stiffening up a little bit, but we got to have, let me get back here, this piece here to really get her tightened up. But I got to get some of this other stuff done first, so we can, then we'll work our way back up to the top and get that done. But first of all, let's see if we can't get this all squeezed together and our rails put back in for our back door. And I'm just gonna do the same as I've been doing. I'm gonna put some glue down in there. And I should be able to get this where it belongs to. And I'll get glue Get my glue out there. Start seeing glue squeezing out over there. That's good for right now. I have to bring don't really want to put these on the outside. Then I don't think I can get out of here. The more the merrier, is what I say. Get enough stuff in here, it'll straighten out and stiffen up. It's good. Toady-like. Okay. Now, can you see? Nope. Now let's do this side. This side wasn't quite, I had it lined up pretty good. Let's see if we can dribble some glue down in there. in the way? Yep, a little bit. Okay, let me see if I can scoot you over with me a little closer. So I can get my clamp in here. Get our clamp it. I'll start over here. I'll go with a small one. Go our pilot. Countersink them a little bit. The screws I'm using aren't quite let me get one here, I'll show you. See, it'll go in and just barely go into the cabinet, into that side panel, and I want it to go in a little bit further, but I don't want it to go all the way through. These aren't long enough to really go through all the way. But you got to have enough to get a bite into your panel. Because the only thing that was in there was those big long staples, and staples are good, they're not real good. You put glue and then staple them, you're fine. But if you happen to drop the stinking cabinet and it goes crash to the ground, then you have to figure something else out, like putting screws in. It'll hold it a lot better. And it may end up being better than what it was, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on that either. Like I've said, this isn't gonna be a restoration. We just want our cabinet to look good so we can play. So the kids can play. Alright, so let me see, what do I got to do? Now I'll look around and see where else we should go, where we should go next. This top piece was loose on this side. So I went ahead and pulled the staples out of it. That way we can get it right down in there. We don't want to put anything into this. That's the panel that the monitor mounts on. We want that to be able to come out if we have to, you know, to do some alterations or build a new one for our LCD. Pretty much the same as everything else. We're just gonna glue it up and screw it down. And this is pretty much raw wood up here, so we're not going to have much problems with glue sticking to paint. The only problem is I can't get a clamp in here, so we're just going to have to drill it and screw it. I always use pilot holes. Especially when I'm working with, oops, get out of there. Especially when I'm working with particle board, because particle board blows out so easily. Particle board blows out so easily that you better drill some pilot holes, or you're gonna, when you put your screw in, it's just gonna blow all the, just gonna blow it out. And you won't be holding anything. Of course. Yeah, it's down there somewhere. Get another one. Now there's two down there. Alright, I got one more stick I can put on. And that's right over here. We can put this one on. Oop, too far. Yeah, we can get this one put on, clamp down, and then I'm gonna have to let it sit overnight and let some of this glue harden. So I'll get some glue on this one. And like I said, you know, since we're using screws, you really don't, well, you don't have to. Can you see what the hell I'm doing? Yeah, kinda. Since we're using screws, I mean, you really don't have to use glue. Too far? Not far enough. There it is. But I'm going to use glue. Glue it and screw it, just so I know that it gives a little extra. Get us another clamp. you can actually tell what the hell I'm doing anyway. Can you? That's because I don't have any room here. Alright, I'll finish this up and then show you what the hell I did. Okay, as you can see, I got that one done. We got our bottom panel done. Got our brace inside done. Done. Front coming together. And now it looks like I have a porcupine. Kind of a jail. That's all done, drying, curing, whatever. And we're ready to, once some other stuff sets up, you don't have to worry about that, that's fine. I think next thing what we should do is work on this panel here that goes across. And that way it'll stiffen the cabinet up even more. So let's take a peek at that.